off the weed. I'm here to tell you right now. That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
Hey man, can I just say, I'm excited.
What are you excited for?
Sorry. Go ahead. Do your.
What are you excited for?
Because like that music, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't. It's kind of our intro deal, so it gets me excited, ready to talk. I'm not gonna lie. I was ready to just go home.
Right.
Home meaning other room.
Yeah, you're already at home. Welcome to another episode of Around the Clock Podcast. We talk all things sports and culture. I'm your host, Dom. Alongside me, virtually, my co-host, Gary, Gary Wayne, and Brandon, the entertainer Wayne. Doing things a little bit differently right now. What's your social?
Dude, it's okay. It's okay to say his last name, but don't say my last name.
Y'all have the same last name. At this point, anybody should know that.
I don't care. People won't figure that out.
So Brandon, he goes by the entertainer, aka B Dub. B Dub. Well,
Yeah,
he kind of was. I mean, Pat Mahomes' senior is kind of a Rolling Stone, though. You know, your pops just had a little slips. This shit happens. But yeah, welcome back. As you guys probably tuned into the last episode, we had a special guest. Our lovely co-host was unable to make it, and so we found his replacement. He did really good. He really stepped up.
This is replacement for just the episode. It was like a substitute teacher.
It was more of a trial run, probationary period. So you know, we got you back in the mix, but now you're on a 90-day probationary period.
Kids always have more fun when the substitutes.
Yeah, they really do. Roll in that.
Shout out to Brian B. Shining.
roll in the movie thing, the TV on the TV train.
No. He held it down. I commend him. He did a great job.
Oh, he did his thing. Man.
He's very pro Chiefs. But as someone from Kansas City should be, you should be pro Chiefs because what's good for the Chiefs is good for the city. So, but yeah, man, let's dive into it. Super Bowl reaction, Super Bowl 58. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers to go for a repeat back-to-back and establish that dynasty. In the words of Brian B. Shining last week, the Chiefs do own the 2020s, and the 2020s aren't even halfway done yet. Hell of a soundbite there. For any initial thoughts on the game, I think it panned out exactly how I expected, to be honest with you.
Is that right?
I thought it was going to be a defensive game. That's exactly what it was. I knew that it was going to come down to the better quarterback. I knew that it was going to be a game of turnovers. And yeah, so be it. Nope. We got some technical difficulties for those at home watching.
Back away from the mic a little bit. Yeah,
I think it was a good game. It was a great game on both sides of the ball. I think there were some missed opportunities early on in the game. Don't know if it was nerves or whatever the case may be, but it turned out to be a really good game. You get an overtime Super Bowl, you know.
Yeah.
As fans, that's exactly what we want.
It was honestly one of the, in my opinion, one of the best Super Bowls I've seen in the last five years. It was more exciting than last year. I felt like, even though last year's was a really good Super Bowl, it was much more exciting than the LA and the Bengals game. I thought it was an incredible game. So defensive, it was really down to the defense. I mean, giving up 19 points, that is, that's spectacular on both ends. I will say I think the Chiefs obviously capitalized on the 49ers losing Greenlaw early, or, basically in the second half of that game. Or I guess he went out, 8 minutes left in the second quarter or something like that. I think he went out in the first half. Which was huge because then you saw what exactly happened.
Yeah.
Middle of the field open wide the fuck up. They parted that Red Sea.
I think Travis Kelce had one catch for 1 yard
in the first half. And went 9 for 90. I think 90 or something like that total for the game.
Yeah. So,
hey, didn't somebody get hurt coming out the tunnel? Did I hear about that?
I didn't hear about that. They must have not been a starter.
On a 49er, I think it was a backup. But I guess he got hurt coming out of the tunnel. Like What the hell? That sucks. Make it always Super Bowl. You done?
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy played as well as Brock Purdy could. I don't know if he silenced the critics on the game manager, but he made plays. He found guys that were open. I'm not gonna discount his ability as a football player. I think obviously Patrick Mahomes is just a much better, much talented. He's been there before. He's much more experienced in the big game. I think all of that matters. Brock Purdy is a second-year guy playing in his first Super Bowl.
And that's part of the reason I would never understand calling someone a game manager during their first full season.
Yeah,
as a starter, and I'm like, dude, he played last year. He got hurt. He didn't come out the gates as a starter. Last year, and he took over and he got hurt. And then this was his first full season as an NFL starter, and we're already like putting labels on him and stuff, and it just didn't make any sense to me.
And honestly, when you watch him play, he's a pretty intelligent quarterback.
The guy is phenomenal. He is phenomenal. There's no other way around it.
I don't know if I'm going to say that.
You look at the tape, he's phenomenal. You look at the numbers, he's phenomenal. It is what it is.
When you look at the tape, his team is phenomenal, and he's surrounded by a very talented cast. And so, is it because he's white? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm looking at the time, and I'm trying to figure out why are we spending so much time on a losing quarterback on this segment.
Well,
okay, who gives a shit? Let's talk about Pat Mahomes and his greatness.
Yeah. And we can talk about Patrick Mahomes.
We know about Pat Mahomes and his greatness. There's nothing to figure out there.
Yeah,
we're still trying to figure out Purdy and his greatness, because he did lead them to a title game last year, and then he led them to
anywhere. He lead them anywhere. That team is absolutely loaded. I could lead them there then if I was a quarterback.
I think that
team is absolutely loaded.
They are.
They should be there.
But when
they should be there with any quarterback. That same team just went there with another quarterback 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like, what's the big deal? Like, come on.
I don't want to spend too much time on the 49ers because I want to talk about the Super Bowl champions. But I will say this, like, that I personally think the term loaded with the 49ers is used not very good, because they've got the best running back in the game of football. They don't have a top 5 receiver. I mean, Brandon Ayuk is borderline top 5. Was he in your top 5 early in the season when we talked about this? Was he in your top 5? He's in nobody's top 5.
I will take
Kittle.
You
can say he's top. I don't even know. Honestly, as far as Kittle goes, he's in the bottom 5 for me when it comes to tight ends. Like, I'm taking Travis Kelce.
5.
He's at the bottom of that. He's at the bottom of that 5 for sure.
Oh, bottom of the 5.
I'm taking Travis Kelce over him. I'm taking Mark Andrews over him any day of the week. I'm taking homeboy out of Cleveland over him.
But they still have a top 5 tight end.
Yeah, but
that's what you're saying.
But how many top 5 tight ends? Like, it's not like it's 30.
It's 5.
But it's not like it's a huge list to choose from. Like, it ain't that many guys that are playing that well. We talked about earlier in the year about
there's a huge drop off after that.
Yeah,
but listen, Brandon, you're not taking Debo over Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill. There's a long list of guys before you get to Debo. So
what?
I'm saying,
still have what team on fucking God's green earth would not want a Debo on their team?
What team would not?
Every team would. The Chiefs would, for damn sure. It's just that makes no goddamn sense.
But let's not act like the Chiefs didn't have Tyreek Hill before. Let's not act like they don't have a Hall of Fame.
Why are we even talking about Tyreek Hill? We don't even need to talk about Tyreek Hill.
We're talking about the dynasty.
We're talking about how they have a loaded team. Their team is good. It was not too far fetched for when Cam Newton said he is the 10th best player. I don't believe he's the 10th best player. I think he is like probably number 8.
So by calling them loaded, you have to call half of the NFL loaded when it comes to offense. Are the Eagles loaded?
Not as loaded as the 49ers.
What are they missing? What are they missing? They're missing Christian McCaffrey. That's it.
Yep.
Their receivers are better than the 2 receivers on the 49ers.
And the entire defense of the 49ers.
Their defense is great.
According to your
look it up.
according to your logic, Jalen Hurts is miles ahead of Brock Purdy. So that seems like it'll give an offensive boost, right?
You would assume so.
I think ahead of him, but he has a lot lesser of a team. Like the fact that y'all can't see,
a lot lesser of a team.
Brandon, you have to
Eagles
watch.
do.
You have to watch the games. You have to watch the games.
I'm watching the games, and I'm seeing if is it a better game if Josh Allen is a quarterback? Is it a better game if Burrow is the quarterback?
We don't know that because we watched Josh Allen. We watched Josh Allen with a pretty decently loaded offense as well. Not as
loaded as this.
But that is subjective, Brandon. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not spending this whole episode talking about the 49ers being a loaded roster, but that is very subjective. They don't have.
It's not subjective. Look at the numbers, though. Look at the all pros. Look at the all pros on their team. They have the most all pros on the offense and defensive side of the ball. I'm not just talking about just offense. They have the most all pros out of any team in football.
Who were the all pros on the offense?
What the fuck are we looking at?
Okay, so what
like, come on.
So Brock Purdy cannot be elite because he has a good team.
Yeah, that's you can't.
That makes absolutely no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Brock Purdy is a game manager because he has good players.
Jordan
makes no sense.
Jordan played on a loaded roster. Nope, nobody calls him a game manager. like Jordan played. Jordan played on a loaded roster. At the end of the
games, that's because at the end of the games, Jordan took over the game and won.
And that's what Purdy did.
He didn't. What he did? What he do?
He did it in the divisional game.
He did it in the Super Bowl.
He did it in the conference championship game.
You're comparing him to Jordan. We're going to talk about championships.
He lost.
He had a chance to win the game.
He lost to the greatest quarterback ever. The greatest quarterback ever. Outside of Tom Brady, he lost to him. So of course that's expected.
Did.
That's expected.
Yes, he did.
But I don't like.
So what are you saying here? There's two quarterbacks left, and Purdy's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you know what's going to happen?
And he lost.
And the 49ers are going to roll with him next year, and they're probably going to roll with him the year after. I mean,
Jalen Hurts lost.
Jalen
Hurts lost.
I'm not saying they should.
Lost. Josh
I'm not saying they shouldn't.
Lamar Jackson lost.
Stop trying to act like this guy is better than he really is. He's not that good.
You're obviously not watching the games. You don't throw 4,200 yards by accident.
Yeah,
you don't manage the game.
Just by having a loaded roster. I mean,
like what the hell?
I truly don't believe he could throw 4,200 yards with the Bears roster. Don't think he could do it. Don't think he could do it.
That's an opinion though.
I think the amount of quarterbacks he's not is short.
Yeah, he's not on the Bears roster. Like at the end of the day, at the end of the day, Brock Purdy makes good passes. He makes good decisions, and the stats speak for themselves. Numbers don't lie. That's my final thoughts on it. But we got to move on.
These aren't hypotheticals I'm throwing out here. These are actual real numbers. I'm not saying if Purdy was on this team, if this and that. And it's not like the 49ers went like. It's not like they drafted these guys. I'm sorry.
I will say this.
Greenlaw, Debo was drafted.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna move on. If Patrick Mahomes was on that roster and he threw for 4,200 yards and he was top 5 in touchdowns and top 5 in passing yards when he finished the season, there would be no conversation about Patrick Mahomes being a game manager with those exact same stats.
Exactly.
There would be no conversation about it.
So he'd still be winning championships.
Yeah, but there'd be no conversation.
It doesn't matter. He'd still be winning championships.
Who did Purdy lose to?
The greatest. The greatest. I mean,
you make it seem like
I'm the biggest fan here. He lost to the greatest.
Bro, he almost lost to fucking Jordan Love. Let's just stop acting like.
Almost again. I'm not talking.
He almost lost to Jordan Love. Let's get out of here.
He won the game.
You're talking hypotheticals.
Yeah, he won the game.
He actually
at the end of the day, you can't discredit what the guy's doing. You can't do. Anyways, let's move on. He
went down and did exactly what you wanted him to do.
Let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time.
We're spending too much time
talking
on this.
about
we'll talk
the
about
losing
it more.
quarterback.
We'll talk about it more in the offseason. Back to the Chiefs. Back to the winners at hand. Patrick Mahomes obviously solidifies himself in greatness, and he had already done that prior to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs have now solidified a dynasty. I think we can all agree on that. Yes. Wasn't a rhetorical
rhetorical question. 3 and 5 years. That's
back to back.
Yeah, you can't deny it anymore. Obviously, he's still chasing greatness within Tom Brady, which we'll see what happens as his career progresses. Do we think that the Chiefs can get 3 in a row? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes, because I was not confident in this Chiefs team going into this season. I wasn't confident mid-season, and I wasn't confident that they could win a Super Bowl. I'll be the first to say it on this podcast. I'm sure I said it on several episodes. I was frustrated as a fan watching what they were doing. But I'm not going to discount anything that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes could put together. As long as those two are playing together, I definitely think that they could go back. I 100% believe that they could go back. There's a lot of gaps to fill. A lot of gaps to fill.
Well, no, I mean, like this is it's February, right? So this is really very early to think that.
I'm going out on a limb and saying I believe it's possible.
Listen, I've lived in Kansas City my whole entire life.
That's what I'm saying.
I know exactly how these Kansas City fans, the prime one right here, how they think. The first fumble, they're gonna be throwing their hands up.
No,
the first fumble of the season next year.
I've also,
they're gonna be.
I the also
first fumble. They're gonna be like, this team don't know. They ain't got no discipline.
We cannot make the postseason this coming season. I'd be okay. Like I've got to witness in my lifetime as a Chiefs fan.
You just said you think they win 3 in a row.
I think it's possible. But if they don't, I'm not going to be throwing my hands up at fumbles and stuff. Bro, I've got to witness my favorite team win 3 Super Bowls. There's only 2 people on this call that have been able to witness that. Brandon hasn't witnessed it. Like me and you have. So yeah, I
got to witness my team win a Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl. I've got to witness them go to 4 in the last 5 years and win 3. If they don't win another for 5 years, because let's not forget, the Patriots went on a 10-year drought after winning 3.
When you say you're going to be okay if they miss the playoffs, what does that mean?
Like, bro, what
does that look like?
As a fan, I'm satisfied with what my team has given this city. So I'm gonna still be a fan. You act like I wasn't a fan 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I've been a fan my whole life. So if we don't make the postseason, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. My season tickets will just be cheaper.
Stop.
Season tickets will just be cheaper.
This call right here is frustrating me, man. I'm like starting to wonder why I even did.
Am I supposed to flip a table?
That is a bold-faced lie. That is a lie.
What?
That is 100% a lie.
Bro, if we miss the playoffs,
you will be frustrated. You'll be as frustrated as I am about that comment.
But I'm not gonna be sell the team, get rid of Patrick Mahomes. Kelsey needs to retire. I'm not gonna be doing that.
I'm not saying all that. I'm not saying all that.
That's what you just said. Kansas City Chiefs fans. Wait a second.
I said you'll be frustrated.
You said, the first fumble. They'll be saying this.
You said you will be okay.
I will be okay.
And I asked you, what does okay look like?
Was I not okay before we got Patrick Mahomes? Was I not okay before we got Alex Smith and Andy Reid? I was just fine.
No, because now you know what winning is like. It's Super Bowl or bust every year. That's it.
And of course.
That's all it is.
But Brandon, to win 3 and 5 doesn't happen very often. There's been literally three quarterbacks.
I understand that. I understand it. Everyone else around the league understands how hard it is. But when you've gotten a taste of winning for so long, you tend to want that every single year.
Absolutely.
And then when you go to if you miss the playoffs, I'm not gonna
sell my season tickets if we miss the playoffs, Brandon.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're saying that.
I will be okay.
What I am saying, okay, that's good. What I am saying is if you have a healthy Patrick Mahomes and you miss the playoffs, you are going to be pissed. And I guarantee you, in today's world, people are going to be calling for Andy Reid's job.
I'm not that.
That's what's going to happen.
You're trying to combine me in with every single Chiefs fan. I'm not that Chiefs
Absolutely,
fan.
yes.
I'm not that Chiefs fan. I'm not that Chiefs fan.
Absolutely.
Like, I will be okay. I will be fine. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, I've got to witness something that there are still franchises out there that haven't got to witness it, and I've got to witness it 3 times in my adult life. Like, I will be fine. And maybe I don't know how to put that into words to get you to understand that. Of course, I want my team to win Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Of course, I want to make the postseason. Of course, I want to own the division. I want to own the AFC. But I have seen enough. I could die a happy man, is what I'm saying. Like, I will be okay. I will be able to look back if we don't win ever again and say, you know what? I was there in 2020. I was there in 2022. I was there in 2023. I was there. Like
you're not gonna be a happy man.
Yes, I will be, Brandon.
What you want to happen.
Anyways, but let's move on. Let's move on.
Things that have never been done before.
Like, what do you mean?
What you want? You want 3 in a row. That's what you want. That's what you want.
Of course, I want $1 million tomorrow, but if I don't get it, I'll be fine.
Well, just say it. Say it.
Like you said, $1 million. You said $1 million. I mean, that's a lot of money, but I mean, it's not gonna be like life changing or anything. I'm gonna risk $50 million to get blown the fuck up by Ray Lewis. Like what?
Hey,
clip all this.
Here's my thing, man.
Listen. No, Gary, hold on, real quick.
Go ahead.
If the Chiefs go on like a 2 or 3 game losing streak, we want to clip everything that he is saying right now.
Oh, that's
every single word that he is saying.
Nobody wants that I won't be
and when he's venting his frustrations about how the Chiefs they lost 2 in a row. We can't. But you said you're going to be fine.
Brandon, when have I ever said that? But find a clip from the last 10 episodes where I've said that. When the Chiefs struggled, all I said was that I don't believe that this team can win a Super Bowl. Was I pissed off when I said that? I said,
yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Yes. You were.
I'll bring up the clip.
Yes.
I'll bring up the clip.
Yes, you were.
I'm happy
you
to
were
bring
upset.
Up the clip.
You were an upset fan.
I wasn't pissed off. I wasn't saying get rid of Andy Reid. I wasn't saying, Patrick Mahomes. I
didn't say you were saying that.
But
you were frustrated. You were an upset fan.
Brandon, there's a difference between frustrated and what you're trying to express of sell the team. That like literally
what are you talking about?
Brandon,
I said that's what the fans will start saying.
Okay, and I've said vehemently, I will not do that.
I will
upset. Be okay.
That's not the only way you can express yourself being upset, man.
But you just tried. But no, you tried to combine.
You're getting upset right now.
Yes, because
you're getting upset right now. And this is how you're going to be when they lose 2 in a row.
You're just talking to talk at this point. You're literally just talking to talk.
Okay.
So we're gonna end on this, and I'm gonna say this again.
Gary,
no.
Gary, go to your
cut
point.
Me off. No, fuck that. No, because you need to hear this. You keep talking about fans will be pissed if they don't make the Super Bowl. They've been calling for Andy Reid's job. I'm not that fan.
No, that's all I said. I said if they don't make the playoffs.
You did say that.
I said if they don't make the playoffs.
You just
I
said
said if they don't make Gary.
And
did I say that?
And if they don't make
the playoffs,
I will never.
You're the one that brought up the scenario being the playoffs.
I will never call for Andy Reid's job if this team doesn't make the playoffs. I will never do that.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, then
you won't.
I won't.
You won't.
I will be okay.
You won't. It's good.
Because, Brandon, I've got to experience something that you've never felt. That's different.
Yeah, that's right. I've never felt it. Yeah, that's right.
Like, my city is on fire for the last 5 years. This city has been doing phenomenal. 6 years.
That's great.
So if we don't win another, bro, the trajectory's already happened. I'm good. I will be fine.
No. That's shitty.
Fine.
That's a shitty mentality. You want to win every game.
Winning every game has nothing to do with being fine. It's like you can't wrap your head around that. You cannot wrap your head around that.
I want to win.
I know you want to win, but with AR-15, you're not.
Okay.
Not with C.J. Stroud in the division.
Okay. Yep, you're right. Got me on that one. Oh shit.
The whole league's got you. Go ahead, Gary. Go ahead, Gary.
What is going on?
Go ahead, Gary. This guy doesn't make any sense.
Just blasphemous.
This guy doesn't make any sense.
Hey, I really don't have a rebuttal to any of that. Y'all went on a rampage, bro.
There is no rebuttal.
And I understand Dominique. Okay, he is content with the way things are. I think content is the word.
Yeah, for sure.
But that doesn't.
You want more.
He is a fan of this. He is a fan of the Chiefs. He is a fan of the sport. He's going to show emotions during games, before, after games. If things get rocky, that's what we do. I can't tell you how many times I've been pissed off at Mac Jones, but then sometimes he does something good, and it's whatever.
What was that?
And then I'm right back to being pissed off again. But I'm telling you,
there's a big difference between.
He can be frustrated with the way his team is playing.
Absolutely.
But I will never disown my fandom.
I don't know if frustrated is.
Right.
But that's a big difference between half the fans. You can be frustrated. You saw me. Bro, I left yesterday at halftime to go watch the game somewhere else. Like, of course I was frustrated. I wanted to go drink. I ran out of old fashioned. I brought enough for two.
You know why? Because Brock Purdy was getting in that ass. That's why.
That first half, they were moving the ball. Whatever his loaded roster, they were making it do what it did.
His all-pro running back fumbled on the first drive.
Yeah, I mean, so.
Okay. Running backs fumble.
Let's get into this.
To make him less of a running back or less of an all-pro?
Let's talk about
what I'm saying is your whole thing is they're there because of these all-pros and stuff. But Brock Purdy held his own.
It's a team
more
sport.
than enough.
It's a team sport.
Okay. Yes, he did.
Who's the current best player on the offense for the Indianapolis Colts? And then we'll move on.
Jonathan Taylor.
All right. Smart man.
Smart man.
Very smart man. I wanted to hear you say something fucking stupid, but I knew you were smarter than that, but I had to test you.
Quentin Nelson. You can make an argument for Quentin Nelson.
We don't care about Quentin Nelson.
Or Michael Pittman.
Look, I'm here to tell you, brother. I don't know what that ain't the one I want, but
I mean, I don't know where you were trying to get to with that question. I don't know.
Well, we assumed you were going to say Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, because you preach so much about him.
He played 4 games. Like
I wouldn't say Anthony Richardson over Gardner Minshew.
He played 4 games, but you still preach about the quarter and a half he played against Houston, as if that solidified his greatness.
He only took him a quarter and a half to beat him.
Good Lord.
I mean,
anyways,
what was that?
Anyways, let's get back into some more poor planning. So there's 7 P's I learned when I was in Missouri Western and I was in the Greek life, fraternity life, and there's 7 P's called prior what is it? Give me a second. It's coming to me. I think it's prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. And we saw one team implement that, and we also heard in the post game that the other team did not. And if you're curious about what I'm talking about the new overtime rules, which have been in effect the entire season, number one. So how you go an entire season of football not understanding how the postseason overtime rules work is beyond me.
I thought that was just the postseason rules.
Yeah, it's the postseason.
No, it is the postseason.
But it's been implemented. Yeah. It ain't new. It was at the start of the season. Yeah, it ain't new. Yeah. Like you guys all knew what was happening. So I also heard an argument about how if they would have known, they would not have taken the ball. But you absolutely, I still believe they would have taken the ball because your defense had been on the field that entire time. And I guess it gives you the opportunity to have the last play of the drive, I guess, technically, and if the Chiefs don't go down and score, if they go down and just get a field goal. But I think it was, obviously it was poor on Kyle Shanahan's part for not preparing his team for that. Real big kudos to Andy Reid and whoever they brought in to kind of explain those rules as well. But I thought that was kind of shocking to me. I don't know what y'all thoughts are for that, but
no, I would say that's very shocking that these guys make millions of dollars to know what's going on, what you should be doing, and for them not to be aware of the overtime rules as professionals. I get it if it was high school, but we're talking about professionals here, and not be prepared for that. You got even if you're not prepared throughout the postseason. You got the biggest game of your life here. Yeah. You got 2 weeks to prepare, and that never came up in any meetings.
Like, if this game goes in overtime, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to be prepared for it.
Exactly.
That was crazy. I also didn't know that regardless of the new overtime rules, every team gets a possession. So if you notice on that last drive for the Chiefs, the scoring drive, time was running out. It was like 50 seconds left or 45. It might have been under 30 seconds left when Pat snapped that ball. Yeah. Had they not converted that, which I think it was a 4th down anyway, but if it was a 1st or 2nd down and the clock ran out, it just would have reset the clock and they still would have got a possession. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So I thought if they didn't score, then it was just game over. But no,
right?
They were going to continue because both teams get a equal possession of the football. So their drive wasn't finished, so they would have rolled over into the next 14-minute half or 15-minute half, whatever it was.
I got to be honest with you. I do not like these rules.
No, I hate it.
I do not like.
And you know why it got changed? Because the Chiefs capitalized on it and won, and now they've capitalized on it again and won a Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, I've been a big proponent of football is not just an offensive sport. It is an offense and defensive sport. We just talked about these guys are paid millions of dollars to do one job. So on the defensive side of the football, you've got hundreds of millions of dollars lined up in contracts to stop this offense from scoring. That is part of the game. So I don't like this whole we both get an opportunity to score a touchdown. No, play defense.
I agree.
Play defense.
I agree that it's part of the game. But, man, in overtime, it's hard to find a game that went into overtime where both defenses aren't just gassed.
Yeah, but
like a motherfucker.
But
man.
this
That's
is part of
like,
the game,
and it
dig deep, bro.
like,
not
That's
dig deep.
like what it is.
Like we can't sit here and say that, well, because my defense couldn't stop you, I still should get a shot at doing this. Because again, if my defense would have played well enough, we wouldn't be in this position in the first place.
I agree. I 100% agree with you. But I'm looking at that 13-second game and with the Bills, I guess the Chiefs and Bills, but that basically came down to whoever won that coin toss, really, because because both defenses were it literally did not matter. They were at the end of the game, both teams were scoring at will. Like it didn't even matter. That game could have went back and forth to over 100 points. Like
but it's still part of the game.
It is. I mean, you get tired, you get gassed. Dude, that last series of the Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
It looked like they did not know what they were doing. Like
no,
they were not
exhausted.
Lined up correctly. They were running slow. Like 49ers defense were completely gassed.
If anything, in my opinion, the only way to make it make sense for me is that you play just an entire quarter. So, which they did. Fortunately, the Chiefs scored, but that'd be the only thing that would make sense to me. Fuck this. You both get an opportunity to score. Just play out a whole quarter of football. And whoever is on top at the end of that quarter wins the game. I think that's the only way to make it fair. So screw the whole, like, you both get a possession thing. No, you just get a quarter to play. Just like in the NBA, when you go in overtime, whoever's winning when that clock hits 0 won the game. I mean, that's the only way to make it, for me to make sense.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer that over these current rules. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think fuck the rules, fuck the defenses. There's one man that won this game, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and his defense helped him out quite a bit as well.
Told my son,
let's not take away from that defense.
The Chiefs defense?
Yeah. Let's not take away from that Chiefs defense.
Chiefs defense is good.
So it wasn't
absolutely.
It wasn't just one man. It was one man that won Super Bowl MVP as he should have because he turned shit up in the second half. But that defense held Christian McCaffrey to under 100 rushing yards. It held him. It made him fumble the ball in the first. Well, I don't know if it made him, but it held that high powered number all pro offense to 19 points.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how many points they averaged on the season, but it held basically the most high-powered offense outside of the Baltimore Ravens to 19 points. So they get a huge shout-out as well. It wasn't just Patrick Mahomes.
100%. McDuffie absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it.
I think they all did. McDuffie did. Snead played well. He gave up that touchdown. He could have wrapped up a little bit better, but
yeah, I don't know why he decided to start giving up touchdowns in the playoffs.
It happens, man.
But
it happens.
No, it was a good game, but I mean, I don't know, man.
I can hear somebody breathing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who
Gary.
it is.
It's Gary, man. But man, I'm telling you, man, this was one. Some dudes just got that. They got that switch, and I even told my son, I was like, listen, I was around your age when Jordan was around, and I didn't appreciate it. I just thought this happens all the time. Soak this in, what you're watching. Right?
I mean, when Jordan was around, it kind of did happen quite a bit because the Lakers, Lakers dominated.
The second time you did that.
Second time I did what?
This whole Jordan thing. It pisses me off right here.
This is Jordan level. This is Jordan level stuff.
Get a little close to the mic.
Why come it wasn't Jordan level stuff when Brady was doing it?
Because he wasn't doing nowhere near the shit that Mahomes is doing within his first 6 years. He was winning championships, of course.
Jordan wasn't doing shit his first 6 years.
Yeah, Jordan didn't win his first championship until he's 28.
So when you talking about this first 6 year stuff?
Jordan within his first 6 years, I don't know if it's just me, but remember, but I mean, he was the first man ever to be defensive player of the year and
he was
and lead the league in score.
Nobody cares about that.
And then yes, he started winning championships when he got a team around him.
Tracy McGrady did a lot of things.
So okay, so then I apologize. This is better than Jordan type stuff than what Patrick Mahomes is doing.
It's
like,
not. Why?
Okay,
so
then
why is Jordan the pinnacle and not Brady?
I don't think. Yeah, you're right. Mahomes is the pinnacle.
Why?
Because no one's doing what Mahomes is doing.
But what do you mean no one's? What do you mean no one's doing what he's doing?
What are you talking
No one
about?
is doing what he's doing.
But
there's no one even close.
Can you elaborate?
To what he's doing.
I'm as a fan, I want you to elaborate on what you're saying.
When it comes to throw, like look what he just did this year. He didn't have 1,000-yard rusher. He didn't have 1,000-yard receiver. He lost two. Or he only won 2 games in the month of December. Went 2-3 in the month of December, and he still took that team to the Super Bowl and won. Like the fact that y'all, I don't understand what's happening right here. Why I am the only Mahomes defender in this group.
No.
But it's just like what this dude is doing.
But you have to be realist and not get amnesia.
So you can't. But all right, this is what I'll say before you go, Gary. You cannot deny Brady for what his defense did.
Not denying Brady.
I understand what you're saying.
Not denying Brady.
But you're talking about a pinnacle.
You literally are.
Let's not.
I'm not.
Let's not forget that this defense. Again, I'll say it again. This defense is why Patrick Mahomes played in the Super Bowl and was able to play lights out in the second half and win a Super Bowl MVP. Like, I think that we keep like trying not to talk about that, but you're talking about a pinnacle. His defense is why. But when it comes to Brady, we bring up his defense to why he won championships. So it kind of goes hand in hand. And this is coming from a diehard fan. Patrick Mahomes is the man. He is the greatest quarterback, in my opinion, to ever walk this earth. I don't think there's anybody better than him. But he hasn't won 7 rings. He may never. I personally don't know if that'll ever be topped. But he's got a long career. He's got a long.
See, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy.
He's already got 3.
But you can't
4 tries.
You can't set a standard and then make changes to the rules for the guy you like. And this is coming from the guy who loves him.
What's the standard?
You can't. The standard of all sports is winning.
The standard
winning.
is Brady.
So the standard is
Jordan.
So the standard is 7 rings. That's the standard. You have to win 7 rings to be the greatest, right? So that's what the standard is.
If Brady had 3, would he be in the conversation? Let me ask you that.
No.
Okay, then. So why is he in the conversation?
Listen. Stop. Listen. Because Brady had to win 5 or 6 in order to get compared to Joe Montana. And now you're telling me, oh, Mahomes don't need to do that.
No.
Like, what the
He
fuck?
doesn't.
That makes no sense.
He doesn't. Because by the end of Mahomes' career, what else is he going to have? What else is he going to have?
We don't know.
Everything else.
We can assume.
Everything else.
We can definitely
But that's a product of the game changing. Okay? That just Josh Allen is going to have amazing numbers. Herbert is going to have amazing numbers. They're going to pass. All of those guys are going to pass Peyton Manning.
Can I go now?
That's just what it is.
So Patrick Mahomes is probably going to have a couple more league MVPs. He's probably going to have. I'm not saying like yes, he still has a long way. He still has a long way to go. I know nowhere in this did I say that he is the GOAT right now.
Can I ask you one question?
But what I'm saying.
Go ahead. I do have a question I want to ask you before I forget.
Go ahead.
So you said Jordan was the pinnacle or whatever, or this is Jordan-esque of what Mahomes is doing. And so I assume you believe Jordan is the greatest or the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I assume?
Yes.
Is that where you're leading? So why is the conversation different for LeBron? Because LeBron is doing exactly what you're talking about, and he's going to finish his career ahead of Jordan in pretty much every statistical category besides wins. And so why can the same be said for Mahomes, who may finish in all statistical categories, but wins?
So man, I really don't want to go into a whole rabbit hole about LeBron. I really don't want to do that right now.
But it shouldn't be a rabbit hole. That's a valid question. LeBron has 4 rings, but he is a better basketball player for most. If you're talking about the eye test, he's a better basketball player.
That's fine. LeBron's the greatest of all time. I'm not going down a whole rabbit hole.
You don't believe that. You just said that you don't. So I'm trying to understand the logic of what you're talking about here.
I didn't just. You brought up LeBron James. I never once said LeBron James's name.
Yeah,
you brought up LeBron.
I brought it up as a comparison. We're comparing Patrick Mahomes to what he will be when he finishes his career, and we're talking about him being the greatest of all time, which is currently held by the name of Tom Brady.
Right. I agree.
And
with
you said it's Jordan-esque what he's doing. It's never been done before.
It's
that. So I'm saying, why is there no conversation or argument for LeBron James, who virtually is doing the same thing?
I don't care. I'm not going to go down this whole LeBron James route.
But it's not about LeBron James. It's about the simple fact that the comparisons are valid. The comparisons are valid.
Dominic, hold on. You said that Mahomes does not need 7 rings, right? In order to be better than Tom Brady. I assume that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I was going to elaborate on, but y'all kept going. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, elaborate.
But what? Because I asked the question, what by the trajectory that he is on, what else is he going to have? And the answer is, the proper answer is pretty much everything else.
Okay.
Even if he gets 5 rings, you telling me right now, if this guy gets just 2 more championships, but he also has 2 or 3 more MVPs. He has the most passing yards in the league.
Wait, Dominic.
I hear you. Keep going.
He has the most touchdowns. He has every single fucking passing record there is in the playoffs to have.
Okay.
You telling me that he won't be the greatest?
Okay, so to Dominic's point.
But he would need to get after the 5, he would need to get 3 more championships to be the greatest.
Wait, to Dominic's
point. That makes no damn sense.
Listen here, to Dominic's point, you're saying Jordan is better than LeBron, right?
Yes.
LeBron is 2 rings shy. He has more points, more rebounds, more assists, more wins, more everything. But he's 2 rings shy.
Right.
But somehow, Jordan is your goal than LeBron.
Now in basketball, do they mostly go off of totals or do they go off of averages in basketball? Tell me. I mean, just tell me. I don't know. Just tell me. Do they mostly go off of averages or do they go off of totals on everything that they do? Stats wise?
When the totality of your career is over, you're measured by the totality of what you've done. It's the same thing when you finish NFL when you finish the NFL career. We talk about Brady having 65,000 total yards.
Hold on, they don't talk about field goal percentages. They don't talk about percentage. They talk about totals in basketball. That's what they talk about. That's what they judge. You're judged on is your total points, right? That's what you're saying.
I think when it's
like your total points, you're judged on.
Yes, when it's all said and done. If you were the all-time leading scorer, so what? But that's what you're saying right now, Brandon. You're doing the exact same argument for football.
But
like you're measured on percentages as in football too.
Football?
I just think it's like just weird, man. That like one guy can lead in scoring and be the scoring leader 10 years, and one dude do it one time, but he's the GOAT.
I've said this before, and I'm gonna keep saying it again because I'm not gonna move the goalpost because my favorite quarterback should be in the GOAT conversation or my favorite team should be in the dynasty conversation. I'm not gonna move the goalpost for anybody. I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Winning matters in sports. That's it. Point blank. Period. So when you want to talk about the greatness, you want to talk about the top teams, the top dogs. They are all measured on their winning success. That's what it boils down to. No one cares about the stats. When Patrick Mahomes retires and he finishes his career, I guarantee you he will not call himself the GOAT if he is 2 rings shy of Brady. I can guarantee you he won't.
You're on record saying he doesn't need 8 rings.
I don't think he does, but I also don't think we can move the goalpost for making him the greatest. And I don't know what his career is going to end up like either.
I don't know. I don't even know where we're at in this conversation, man.
I tell you where we're at, Brandon. Stop.
Go ahead.
You play to win the game. You play to win the game. You play to win Super Bowls. You don't play for season MVPs. You don't play to get average 300 yards passing a game. You play to win Super Bowls.
So right? In your mind, the only way he can make it is 8 rings, right?
Why? Okay. Ask Patrick Mahomes. No, stop. I'm answering your question. Ask Patrick Mahomes, why is he going to play next year? Why is he going to play next year?
To win a Super Bowl. Because he wants to win 3 in a row.
But no, you're willing to look him in the face and say, you don't need to do that. You don't need to
I
do
didn't
that.
say that.
Great.
I did not say. I did not say.
You
that.
don't need to do that to pass.
When did I?
Tom Brady.
When did I say that? When did I? When did I say that?
He does not need 7 rings.
I don't think he needs 7. I even pointed out a number of 5. I believe if he gets 2 more, and alongside with other accolades, he will be the greatest of all time.
I believe we can have this conversation when Patrick Mahomes retires, and we can examine the tape, we can examine the numbers. I think we're speaking in hypotheticals right now, in my opinion. Sure. Is he on trajectory? Absolutely.
And
he is.
And to your point about like muscling a team to a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl, hey, I didn't see Brady play with some fucking bums, bro. Okay,
I agree.
And turn them into. I can't even remember their fucking names sometimes.
Fucking Chris Hogan, and that last
he won
Super
a ring
Bowl,
without Gronkowski. Don't forget he won 3 before Gronkowski. And he won 1 when Gronkowski was hurt, and he didn't play.
You said bums. I was just naming a bum.
Yeah, you name one that he won 4 rings without. Continue.
Yeah, I'm just naming. You said naming a bum. I just named a bum.
Who else?
I named a bum. I named a bum.
Look, do I think that the GOAT conversation can happen potentially without 7 rings? Potentially, sure, it could definitely happen. But again,
do y'all think there's a reason why Terry Bradshaw was never in the GOAT conversation? Even though he had just as many Super Bowls as Joe Montana, but was never in the GOAT conversation, never even in anybody's top 10. Like, why is that?
I think he might have had like 3 good seasons.
Yeah, he wasn't a great quarterback.
He won 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but he also played arguably with the greatest defense to ever play the game. So I don't put the Patriots in that category.
Patriots didn't have good defenses?
I don't
Is that
think
what you're saying?
I would never put them over the steel curtain.
Greatest ever.
Yeah, I would never put them over the steel curtain.
I wouldn't say that.
So where would you rank in the 20-year time period that the Patriots were on a tear throughout the NFL? Where would you rank that defense all time? Those defenses. You would rank those defenses all time in the top 5 ever?
I think they had one defense that during that time period, during their Super Bowl in those 20 years, that was not ranked in the top 10.
Can you name
most of which was ranked in the top 5 every year?
So again, would you rank them in the top 5 ever? Defenses?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay then. So what why are we having this conversation?
Absolutely not.
I can't even name 5 guys on that defense. Period. Off the top of my head, I couldn't.
But you would rank the Steelers, the Steelers from that day, in the top 5 or top 10 ever.
I would. Absolutely.
I mean,
I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Me personally, yes, I would.
We're just trying to figure out your logic, bro. That's
I'm just trying to figure out. You had a quarterback that won 4 championships, but was never regarded as the GOAT quarterback. But Joe Montana came through, won 4, and was instantly
and I wasn't
right towards the top. But why is that? Though? Why was that?
Let me tell you this. I wasn't alive when Terry Bradshaw was on the tear, so he might have been considered one of the greatest quarterbacks at that time. He might have been.
He wasn't.
Are you sure? I mean, in the 70s, nobody had him in the top 5.
Why didn't anybody have him in the top? Even in the 80s and 90s, before Joe even tied his Super Bowl record.
I don't know.
Like, why is that?
I wasn't around.
Why is that?
I just looked it up. I just looked it up. Terry Bradshaw led the league in passing touchdowns twice. One of them was, I don't know if this is correct. One of them was with 17 touchdowns.
And I think he is to some degree.
Another one was with 28 touchdowns.
I think he is to some degree, regarded as one of the greatest quarterbacks, depending on the time period. I think he is. I mean, honestly, he also played in an era that wasn't a pass first era. I mean, it's not like guys were dogs. Like, can you name any quarterback pre-90 that anybody has in the top 5 ever outside of Joe Montana?
Terry Bradshaw also won NFL MVP.
That's a serious question. Can we name anybody prior to Joe Montana that we are putting in the top 5 conversation?
Bart Starr, GOAT.
No.
Johnny Unitas. A lot of people put Johnny Unitas up in the top 10 still. Just saying,
because he fucking played 100 years ago.
They do it just because.
He's the only quarterback.
People do.
Yeah,
No. Most people don't.
He's the first GOAT.
Most people don't.
He's the first GOAT.
Most people don't.
He's the first to do something don't mean you the
He's
best.
the original GOAT. He's the original GOAT. He's the original GOAT, man.
No. So yeah, I think that would be why. But I think
why what?
I mean, the era he played in. He played with a great defense. He played in a non-pass first era, and now the measuring stick for quarterbacks is a lot different than it was 40 years ago, 50 years ago. I mean, the measuring stick is a lot different from when Joe Montana played.
It's different than what it was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just what it is.
But at the end of the day, I mean, winning does matter. I mean, look at Drew Brees' career. Drew Brees holds. I mean, he's top 2 or 3 in almost every statistical category there is, isn't he? Outside of winning,
I think he's 2 in yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, like outside of Brady, I mean, he would have been had Brady retired. I think Brady passed him up his last season, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I mean, but
Brady
no one
played longer than anybody else has played.
But longevity matters.
Yeah,
like that matters.
I agree.
That matters. I mean, Tom Brady did something that no one's literally ever done. I mean, the man threw for 5,000 yards at the age of 43, 44, which in football terms is 75. I mean, like, he was Terry Bradshaw's age out there. So, I mean, like, I think that people, and again, this is coming from a Chiefs fan. I think people really forget how good Tom Brady was as a quarterback. I think when you look at the numbers, look at his seasons, people forget that he was doing shit that was great with some nobodies.
I think it's disrespectful to just pass him up and say something like, "Oh, he's the Michael Jordan of this," or "This is Jordan-esque," and I'm like, fucking Tom Brady got more rings than Michael Jordan in football,
which is tough.
Like, that is absurd.
Which is tough.
And he finished his career leading the all-time touchdowns and passing yards, and he's had every postseason record. Like, no, there is no Jordan-esque. Don't call me Jordan-esque. Call me Brady-esque. Like, that's what it is to me. And I don't see any argument against that.
And I think it's a great conversation we're having because it does speak to the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, he's the only person in the league currently playing quarterback that is compared to Brady. He's the only person that is even considered to be the GOAT by some. It's the Jordan. It's going to turn into the Jordan LeBron debate eventually when he finishes his career. I think. I think that's what it will turn into.
With that being said, I finish off and I would say that yes, Mahomes needs the rings. Why does Mahomes need the ring? Because I always tell you guys this. Brady did us a favor staying around and playing. He did us a favor staying around and playing against the Josh Allens and Lamar Jacksons and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has a Super Bowl loss. Why does he have that Super Bowl loss? Why does he have that AFC Championship game loss? Because of Tom Brady. And
Joe Burrow.
And the thing is, we don't get to say that about LeBron and Michael Jordan because they never played each other. You know what I mean? So we don't get that head-to-head thing. We actually got that here. We don't have to, imagine it. It happened. It happened.
So I just want to do some quick numbers here real quick.
I mean, yeah, but it happened on a second and third year guy.
Don't give me that. Don't give me after the shit you just said about Brock Purdy. Don't give me no second year bullshit. Stop it.
No. I'm saying I'm not saying Brock Purdy can't be the guy and whatever, however many years. Right. But
so let's.
Do you think this Mahomes? Do you think this Mahomes is that same talented player from 4 years ago?
If you look at Mahomes,
you don't think
that? I mean that season was MVP season. That was his best.
You don't think
arguably one of his best.
You don't think
seasons.
he's a better quarterback right now? Just put that on record. Y'all think he's a better quarterback then?
No, that's what you're saying. I think he's a better quarterback now, but
then my point is, do you think that this Mahomes today that game will be much different against Tom Brady.
But we're speaking in hypotheticals, Brandon, and I fucking hate that in sports. I hate that in sports.
Speaking in hypotheticals. Brandon is speaking in hypotheticals.
Like, I hate that in sports, man.
We've seen them play the game, Brandon. There is no if, ands, or buts here. There is no.
And honestly, that defense got after him. But I don't like speaking in these what ifs. Because that's not what happened, unfortunately. No, that's not what happened.
We can. What if Chamberlain?
Then what's the whole point of the conversation then? That Tom Brady's the GOAT, and that's always going to be held over him, even if he gets 8 rings. That he lost to Tom Brady. Though.
I don't think that was the point he was making. I was just saying
I said Mahomes needs the rings. You said Mahomes don't need the rings. You said
no, he doesn't need 8 rings.
So
you're gonna be hard pressed to find people.
How many more years?
100% agree with you that he needs 8 rings.
How many years of 5,000 yards do you think that Patrick Mahomes has to get to pass Brady in just in passing yards? How many more seasons? If he threw for 5K a season, I just did the numbers.
I don't know.
I go out on a limb here and I'll say 6 more.
6 more seasons. Brandon, can you give me a number?
I don't.
Just give me a number.
What?
I'm just 2. 2? Okay, that's fucking stupid. He needs to.
I just want to hear the number. I don't give a damn.
He needs to play for 12 more seasons and throw for 5,000 yards in each season just to match what Tom Brady has done in his career. So I think we are like, again, this is coming from the biggest Chiefs fan on this podcast, even though Brandon makes it sound like he is. like that shows you what he has to accomplish just to reach the peak of what Brady did in his career. We cannot discredit what Brady's done.
We're not taking anything away from Mahomes. I just stopped you at the conversation when you said Jordan-esque because I think that is disrespectful to Tom Brady. That's all. That's it.
So that's.
And I think it's fair for me to say that. I think what Brady did. Jordan didn't, if you want to cross the sport or whatever, Jordan didn't do what Brady did. It is what it is. He did not. He did not.
I think
Jordan did more.
People forget that Jordan came back.
Jordan, stop. If we want to talk about points, Jordan didn't finish number 1 in points. We want to talk about, if you want to compare touchdowns to whatever in basketball, he didn't finish. Jordan was great. Don't get me wrong.
Get a little closer to the mic, Gary.
Jordan was great. Brady was just better. It just is what it is.
The one thing I think people forget, it's not necessarily a knock to Jordan, but Jordan did come back. This whole, he went 6-0. Yep, he won every championship he ever went to, but Jordan came back in the playoffs. People forget that. He came back in the playoffs, and he fucking lost. He lost. People make it seem like he went on this 6-0 run, but he came back after that third one, after playing baseball. He came back, and he didn't fucking win the game. So it's like, people talk about his greatness in the postseason. People talk about him winning finals, and sure. But there was a year where he couldn't make the fucking finals. So this whole, he went to 6 straight. No, he went to 3. He fucking lost. Then he went to 3 more. That's what happened.
He came back halfway through the season.
It doesn't matter. He came back and played. Like we would expect that of any other player we call great.
I think that's a moot. I think that's a very moot point right there.
I'm just saying.
We're not taking anything away from Mahomes. Mahomes is great. But how can you say, oh, he has a long way to go, and then also say oh, he doesn't need to do this and that? I don't understand that.
No, you're putting it just at 8 rings. That's the only thing you're looking at is 8 rings.
You're the only person that say 8 rings.
Well, that's the only thing that's going to get your attention because that's it. If he hits 8 rings, he is the greatest of all time. Is he not? Would you say that?
I would say if he matched the rings but still had those numbers.
Oh, so if he just gets 7, if he gets 7 rings, he's the greatest of all time. And that's what I'm saying. It's just
he surpassed him in all those numbers. Yeah,
I don't think there's an argument there.
You don't think that makes sense?
If he passed him a majority of statistical categories, and he had, if he had 6,
the same amount of rings,
if he had 6,
and he will,
and I hope so. I fucking hope
he
so.
Will.
Fucking hope
it's
so.
not even a question. He's going to.
Fucking hope so.
Brandon, you just heard You just heard Dominique say he needs 12 more seasons of 5,000 yards each.
So that would put him at 40. They put him at the age of 40. He's 28 right now. So 12 more seasons. That was 12.15 seasons. So really needs to play 13 more seasons.
And that was 5,000 yards.
Yeah, at 5K. And I think what do you have this season? 42?
How many does he need for touchdowns?
Let's see here. Brady has 649 touchdowns. Patrick has 200 something. Let's see here. 219 career touchdowns. So Pat needs 430 more touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So he needs at least 10 more 40 touchdown seasons to match him in touchdowns. Which, I mean, I think he's got I don't know if he has another several 50 touchdown seasons in his career just based off the way that offense looks.
He'll pass him in touchdowns.
So.
Here's a fun fact. 6 seasons, he's only thrown for 40 or more twice.
So that's
so
good.
It is a tough hill.
He will have to play
5,000 yards more twice.
He will have to play at least another 10 seasons in order to surpass Brady, I think.
Do y'all not think he's going to or something? Like I don't understand.
We don't know.
He's going to.
Brandon, but listen, I don't think you're hearing the numbers. He's going to play 10, 12 more years probably.
But not everybody
can play till he's 40. But we're talking about 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns each year. And what I'm saying is, you call this the great 6-year stretch. He's only done that twice.
Yeah. And Brady,
that is how hard.
Brady also went to 8 straight AFC Championship games.
Don't fucking disrespect the GOAT. God damn it.
Brady also played till he was 45.
Yeah, at this rate, Mahomes might have to as well. I mean, honestly.
Basically, what you're telling me is he doesn't have to play till he's 45.
Well, we don't know that. Well, we literally don't know that.
Don't know, Brandon.
Like because you got to ask yourself if you are
at this rate, he's going to have to because he only has 2 of those seasons.
Yeah, if you are Patrick Mahomes, especially in the way that money is made, especially in the way that postseason careers are now set up, if I'm him, does he want to play till 40? Does he want to be Brady in the league? Does he want to be 42? Does he want to be 43 still playing? Does he want to be like Aaron Rodgers coming up on 40? Like that, those are questions we don't know until we see it. Like he might reach a number. I mean, he's got 8 more years left on this deal. So he obviously they're going to give him a new deal, or they might restructure here in the next few years. But like we don't know if he for sure plays that long. He's never come on record so far and said I want to play till I'm 40. Like I think he's enjoying the ride, and I think a lot of people are putting a lot of pressure on him prior to him being able to do what he needs to do. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like we need to sit back and enjoy the ride. We need to sit back and enjoy the ride because we're doing all this speculation, and if it never happens, then it's like, oh well, like are we gonna be mad? Are we gonna be pissed? Like I said earlier, I'm going to appreciate what he gave us in the first 6 seasons. I mean that for your franchise guy to do that for you is enough. That's more than enough. Now obviously you have expectation and hope that he does more, but what he's done in 6 seasons, any franchise in the NFL right now would take that and be good for the next 5 to 10 seasons. Without a shot of it. If you ask any owner in the NFL, if you could have what the Chiefs have done in the last 6 years or what Brady did in his first 6 years and never win for 10 plus more seasons, they would take it.
You know
they would all take it.
You know who would? Goddamn Colts.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even get that with their boy. I'm telling you. Jeez.
Like it's hard. It is really, really hard. And again, Patrick Mahomes is silencing the critics each and every season. I've been on record. I think when I said earlier, I thought that this would be the toughest road that they had to get there, and I think it was so far in his career. But the AFC is only getting better. The AFC is only getting better. NFC, sure, they're kind of on lock with their 3 perennial teams, but like, Chargers have a new head coach, a lot can happen. Houston looks fucking good. Josh Allen's still good, but he's never done anything. Lamar Jackson's still good, hasn't done anything. Joe Burrow coming back off injury, like a lot can continue to happen. We're going to witness some of the greatest football that we've ever seen in the next 10 plus seasons. Like I don't think there's any argument there.
Agree with the statement I heard. I think it was Shannon Sharp said it earlier today. The distance between 1 and 2 at the quarterback position is greater than the distance between 2 and 5.
Who's 2?
That's kind of the main point.
Like currently
it changes
in the league
every year.
Currently in the league, he's saying the distance between 1 and 2 is greater than the distance between 2 and 5.
Yeah, talent wise.
In the league right now.
Yes,
I agree with that statement.
I would agree
wholeheartedly.
also.
because there's not.
I think the main point is it's not a clear number two, because I think that number two changes every year. I think the year before it was Josh Allen, or maybe the year before that it was Joe Burrow, and now it's Lamar Jackson. Like it's just kind of a carousel.
I think
so
the number two.
Who's 5? Is Tua 5?
Yeah, I think that they all change. I think that number two, in my opinion, I think it's still Burrow, if you ask me. Obviously, he got hurt this year, but he's the only other quarterback to take it there out of this new regime of quarterbacks. And Brock Purdy. I mean, I guess Jalen Hurts went to 2, or he went to 1. Did he go to 2?
Hey, but Brandon say anything about the Eagles team being stacked or Cincinnati team being stacked. But goddamn, with Brock Purdy got a stacked team, it's a problem.
I mean, fuck, the Dolphins are stacked. Fastest team in the NFL. Stacked.
Purdy held his own.
22 touchdowns out of your running back, or 23, however many he had. I mean.
All right, we'll get off the Purdy band.
Last thing is let's get to another elite guy. And we can talk about GOAT status here as well. Is Harrison Butker the greatest kicker of all time? Or is he the greatest postseason kicker of all time? Most clutch? I think there's an argument there. I think there's an argument for being the most clutch kicker. I think there's more argument for being the most clutch kicker ever.
I disagree. I disagree with both of those. He's not the greatest kicker ever.
I don't think he's not there yet, but
he's not Vinatieri clutch.
I wonder if we can pull up the stats.
I think Justin Tucker is still the greatest kicker ever. But Butker he's up there.
But who has sent their team to who has won more games for their team? More pivotal moments for their team? I really think that is Harrison Butker.
It's Vinatieri.
I think if we're talking currently, I think it's Harrison Butker over Justin Tucker by a mile.
We're not talking about ever.
Has Justin Tucker been in those as many situations?
He has in the regular season. He's hit a lot of games.
Harrison Butker has probably played more postseason games than. Well, I don't know, because he was playing with like Ray Lewis and stuff. Tucker was, so I don't know. But I mean, I'm willing to bet Harrison Butker may have played more postseason games than Justin Tucker.
All right, I just pulled this list up of most game-winning field goals by players, and I don't know how accurate this is. This is StatMuse. So, again, first thing that came up on Google. But the number one guy is obviously Adam Vinatieri. Then you got Anderson, 2 Andersons. I don't know who either of these 2 guys are, and I apologize for any fans out there.
Anderson,
Gakowski, Crosby.
Oh yes, Gakowski.
Gold. But I think these are also regular season. What's crazy is Butker's not even on this list.
Robbie Gold from when he was 49ers.
Adam Vinatieri has 193. This is in the regular season. Game-winning field goals. And would he play for 20 seasons, if not more?
And he played for 2 really good
franchises. Yeah, at the time. So 193. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Automatic. Clutch.
He had like he had a thing going on. He has like the second most field goals made in a row. It's like he was at the streak of like 40 something. I think the record is like 50. It was like 40 something made field goals like in a row.
I just, not to cut you off, but again, I'm on StatMuse. So I searched most game-winning field goals by a player in the postseason. Do you know what this is why I don't know if this is accurate. The number one player on this list, would you like to take a guess? It's Tom Brady. It says Tom Brady has 35 postseason field goals.
Field goals?
Yes. And then it's Vinatieri with 21. 20 with Gakowski. I mean,
what's the stat again?
Maybe they mean wins, or
maybe I don't know.
I think they got him mixed up with because he probably does have like 35 wins.
Yeah, because then it says which kicker has the most game wins. Now it says 599. There's no way that's. Oh, those are field goals made. Okay, field goals made. That makes sense. So, all right, man. Anything else y'all want to talk about, man?
What you got for us?
I mean, we're an hour and 15 in. We're not going to get to the other shit that we had for a regular episode. This was purely a Super Bowl recap. Takeaway: Brandon thinks that Patrick Mahomes will be the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, despite if he doesn't win 7 Super Bowls. Gary disagrees with that. I believe time will tell. I'm not going to move the goalpost. I think with 6, we could definitely have the conversation. I think with 6. He's won 3 already. You changed
your whole argument.
He's won 3 already
this year. I hope we won't. We'll go back to that first episode.
That's fine. People can change their minds. People can change their minds. I know.
Remember that first episode, Gary? He goes. I believe with 3. I think
I did say that. But I think I also said that if he leads in every statistical category, we can have the conversation.
Like I said, sometimes we get caught.
But he's got to lead.
In the moment, it's okay to get to. Like I said the other day, it's okay to live in the moment and not.
He is the most talented player I have personally ever seen at the quarterback position, and it's not even close. It's not even close. He can do more with his legs and with the football than any other quarterback I have ever seen.
Without 3 wins in the Super Bowl, let's say you just went to 4 trips to the Super Bowl and he lost all of them. Will we still be having this conversation?
What?
Would we still be having this conversation about Patrick Mahomes if he either went to 4 Super Bowls and lost all 4, or if he had no wins, period?
Do we have a conversation about Jim Kelly?
I'm asking you. I don't get.
It'd be the same thing.
I'm talking about Jim Kelly. Okay, then.
No,
so
Jim
then that kind of
regarded as talented.
Yeah. So that kind of goes back to the you got to win thing. Like, you know,
100%.
If there's no Super Bowls, there's no conversation. So then it's like, well, if you got 3, then
you can say that about anything. We can say that about LeBron. You can go back to the LeBron conversation. Will we have this conversation about LeBron if he didn't win anything? No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't have this conversation about LeBron either. So you can literally go anywhere with that. It's yes, you have to win. Nobody ever is denying you have to. Yes, you absolutely have to win.
You have to win,
but you just don't have to win as much as this guy.
Right, like just how Jordan didn't have to win 11 to be regarded as the greatest. And but he won 6. He won 6 with a million other accolades on top of that. That's why he was the greatest. Like it's common sense.
A rundown of how great Patrick Mahomes has to be over the next.
Patrick
Mahomes
watch him
continue being great.
He's on trajectory to do what Brady did. He's on trajectory to have the Jordan-esque career. Jordan prevented a lot of guys from winning. Brady prevented a lot of guys from winning over 20 plus seasons. And Patrick Mahomes so far has prevented every AFC quarterback besides Joe Burrow from winning. Joe Burrow lost that game. But he's basically prevented a lot of quarterbacks from having the opportunity to even make it to the big game. So, yes, I think he's on pace, but I think the proper term is Brady-esque career. I mean, Brady is the gold standard. Unfortunately, it is. Brady is the gold standard. Brady has the wins. Brady has the accolades. Just like you said about Jordan, he didn't have to have 11 because he had all these other things. But Brady has 7 plus all those other things. So it's hard to have one without the other. So yeah, at this point, looking at the numbers, it is going to be very tough for any quarterback to ever match what Brady has done so far in yards. That's just me speaking objectively here. It is going to be very hard for any quarterback to do that.
Is it possible? It's
possible for sure, but that is a fucking stretch. Like, again, he's going to have to play in his 40s to do this. And he's going to have to throw for 5K every single year.
And don't forget, Brady played 23 years. 20 of those came without the extra game. Okay? So if Pat Mahomes plays 12 more years or whatever, he's getting an extra game every year.
Yeah. But hopefully he's not playing in that last game. I mean, that's the expectation. That's the expectation. But yeah, so I think is it possible? Yes. I don't like speaking prematurely about things. I like to enjoy the moment. I want to enjoy his career. I want to enjoy what he's doing for Kansas City. I'm appreciative of it. I'm going to be at the parade on Wednesday. I'm going to be having the time of my life, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm living in the moment currently. So I'm not going to dwell too much about next season and so on and so forth. The only thing I'll say about next season is, do I think it's possible to go back to back to back? Absolutely. Not going to count them out.
And I'll end.
I'm not going to count them out.
I enjoy watching greatness, and I enjoy watching high level competitors, and I enjoy watching guys who in pivotal moments can just turn it on and do their thing. When I was sitting here, because I left halftime because of the baby, sitting here watching the game, and I'm not bullshitting. I looked at my wife. I said, if they kick this field goal, it's over. She thought I was talking about the game. Well, because when Patrick Mahomes, she's like, well, maybe you're right. I was like, no. I was talking about it's over because he is that dude. He has that gear. Some guys are just special. Some guys just got it. And that's literally the next day when I was talking to my son, I literally said, live this up, because you are at this age where you get to watch someone be great. I've seen it, and I at a young age, at your age, but I didn't pay close enough attention to it. And I mean that for just any guys too. I also mean that with like Shohei. Watch Shohei Ohtani, because this ain't going to ever come around again. I don't know if we're going to see another Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if we're going to see a quarterback that do everything that he does again. We're going to see another. We're going to see another Lamar, because the Colts drafted him.
We're
going to see that.
We'll see.
We're going to see. I mean, I'm dead serious. I mean, we're going to see. We're going to see another one.
I think that we did witness greatness, but we also witnessed greatness. I'll say it again, on the defensive side of the ball. That blocked extra point. We're not having this conversation about if they kick that field goal. Watch this, game's over. That defense did so much.
It's the getting caught up in the moment thing for me. I'm watching TV and I hear Shannon Sharp and them talk about, oh, this is the toughest playoff run in history and what he went through, the team. And I'm like, bro, I literally watched Brady at the age of 40-something take down legends, including Patrick Mahomes. He literally went through Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Patrick Mahomes. But for some reason, we get like amnesia and we forget like what the hell this guy did and how great he was. And so we want to say Jordan era. Like, what the fuck? Like, where did Jordan?
It is.
That is disrespectful.
You got to also. I mean, yes, we can look at the numbers.
Mahomes is not chasing Jordan. He's not chasing Jordan.
We can always do this, but it comes down as looking at the athletes themselves. I don't want my son to fucking look at Tom Brady. I don't give a fuck. Look at Patrick Mahomes. He's a fucking athlete. Tom Brady is not an athlete. He's a guy that could throw the fucking football pretty damn well. That is it.
That's an athlete.
I see a guy over here making plays with his fucking legs, doing everything he can for that offense.
Do you know who Patrick Mahomes studies in the offseason?
He probably studies Tom Brady. Why wouldn't you study Tom Brady?
Okay,
Tom Brady is great.
You just said you wouldn't want your son watching him.
Listen, I am not saying Tom Brady is not great, but what I am saying is this man takes over games and just does everything. Everything.
Brandon, he just takes over games differently. You act like we haven't seen game-winning drives from Tom Brady. It's just differently. So the difference is Tom Brady will get up to the line and he'll call audibles and he'll switch shit around. Okay,
just like what Patrick Mahomes is doing.
Patrick Mahomes will run around in circles, and I mean, it's just it's backyard football. It's just
Patrick Mahomes is doing everything. He was checking out of plays also. He was doing everything.
I'm gonna ask this, and this we can finish on this, because this is coming from an objective point of view. This is not coming from a fan's point of view. If Greenlaw doesn't go out on an Achilles injury, and if Moody doesn't hit that low punt or that low field goal, does the trajectory of this game change? Because now
that's not even where it was lost. There was IU came across the middle, wide open. In overtime, in the end zone, they blew a blocking assignment.
Yeah.
The 49ers would have scored a touchdown right there. that one play was the
like
game. And then they had to settle for the field goal.
I think that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest. I think he is, as a fan, from a fan perspective, for sure. He's the GOAT. He's my GOAT, 100%. But I think that if you watch that game, like he took over in the second half based on injury after injury, and based on the middle of the field finally opening up. I mean, that's literally what changed in that game. The middle of the field for the entire first half was not open. There's a reason why they went into the half with 3 points. And the moment that Greenlaw went out, the middle of the field opened up. And Travis Kelce turned up. Rashee Rice turned up. All those balls were thrown across the middle. Most of them were. Or these crossing routes where a dominant athlete wasn't running with them. So I think when you watch the game in its totality, yes, Patrick Mahomes took over that game and he was able to win. He was able to will his team to, an overtime victory. I'm not going to count him out with 2 minutes left on the clock, for sure. But I think there was, like, at times, and I know it's just because of the way the quarterback position is played, they're the only ones looked at. But from a football perspective of a person who loves the game of football, we take away so much more for what the entire team contributes to the success of that team. We put the limelight on.
Away.
But I think the real MVP of that the real MVP of that Super Bowl was the defense, in my opinion. It absolutely was. It absolutely was.
That defense played amazing, and they played well as a team, as an organized unit. But that game is won by Patrick Mahomes at the end of the game.
I don't think that Patrick Mahomes can win that game without that defense playing that well.
Agreed, because they're a team. Yes,
exactly.
I want you to say the same thing about Brady's Super Bowl against the Falcons. Brady went out and he won that game.
Yeah, he did. What do you want me to say? He didn't?
Because you always like to bring up the Patriots and Brady's defenses, but then and give them credit or give the kicker credit. Like the kicker drove 70 fucking yards down the field.
I just said, like, their defense played well. The Chiefs' defense played well. But that game was won.
You use that to take credit away from Brady. But in this situation, you're not doing the same.
Yeah. I mean, to Gary's point, you bring up the fact that the Patriots had a top 10 defense. And you use that as a reasoning behind why Brady is winning.
They did.
Okay. And the Chiefs had a top 10 defense. They had a top 10 defense.
They did.
It's the exact same scenario.
I've also seen
it's the exact same scenario.
Where was the Chiefs defense ranked on his first Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Do you remember?
I don't remember, like 22nd or something.
Yeah. So I mean, I've also seen this man win with a lower ranked defense.
With the loaded, and he also had Tyreek Hill. He had a really healthy Travis Kelce. I mean, he had phenomenal weapons.
Absolutely he did. So. Also, just like somebody else I saw win with the 27th ranked defense, and that man's name was Peyton Manning.
What year was that?
He also had multiple top 10 defenses as well.
Yeah. He also won his last Super Bowl with the top 5 defense.
He won his first Super Bowl with the 27th ranked.
Wow.
He had 8 top 10 defenses and didn't do shit with them.
He's not even in the conversation anymore, unfortunately.
He had 8.
He's literally not even in the conversation.
I'm just saying. I've seen
10 defenses. Peyton Manning had 8 top 10 defenses.
Why are we even talking about Peyton Manning? Why are we talking about Peyton Manning? He's not even in the conversation anymore as anything.
I don't know.
He's not in the
Can
conversation.
you show me this 8 top 10 ranked defenses?
I'll be glad to show it to you. I'll be glad to show
please,
it to you.
go ahead. Show it to me.
We can implement it on here
right now.
But we're talking about
we don't care.
Great quarterbacks versus great quarterback. We're talking about great quarterbacks versus great quarterbacks. I mean, like, that's what they do. They find ways to win.
Now,
at the end of the day,
we're comparing the greatest quarterback to the greatest quarterback. That's what we're doing at this point.
Okay, then they both find ways to win. Like, I don't know what you want me to say about this.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Defense wins championships. This defense helped this Chiefs team win a championship.
Absolutely. They did.
Hey, I'm sorry, sir. The 2002 Colts defense was 7th. The 2005 Colts defense was 2nd. Both of those defenses lost in the first playoff game. 2007 Colts defense, 1st in points allowed, 3rd in yards allowed, lost in the first playoff game. The 2008 Colts defense, 8th in points allowed, 11th in yards allowed.
Wait. Why'd you skip over 2006 defense?
They wasn't top 10.
He's just telling
you. Where were they?
You asked about him having 8 top 10 defenses, so he's
so
going down the
these
list.
are his 8 top 10 defenses that he had.
Why are you just skipping over the 2006 one though? You skip right over them.
You already mentioned that they were 20 something. But
yeah.
What I'm saying is he had 8 top 10 defenses, lost in the first playoff game, lost first playoff game, lost first playoff game, lost first playoff game, lost in Super Bowl 2009 Colts.
Who's your source on these defenses?
Lost first playoff game. What the? You go to NFL.com and look at it.
What source are you looking at?
Lost.
You looking at NFL.com?
Lost in.
Is that what you're looking at? You're looking at NFL.com.
Lost,
I'm asking for a source here.
Lost first play.
What is your source?
Bounced in the first round more than anybody in the history of sports.
What is your source? What is your source for these defenses?
The only competitor he had was Tom Brady. AFC wasn't stacked like it is now. The AFC was pretty fucking weak back then, honestly.
AFC was weak.
It was weak.
In 05?
Yeah. They have
who were the best teams back then?
Expansion team in like 2002. I think the Texans were born.
They were like the East of the NBA.
I believe
in 05 we had the Chiefs. They weren't very good. We had the Broncos. They weren't very good.
Were ranked 7th, and this is a Pro Football Reference. So they were ranked 7th.
Very reliable source.
No, that ain't no reliable source. I'll show you a reliable source.
That's literally all the stats that you can rely on.
At this point, I don't care about Brady. Or not Brady. I don't care about Peyton Manning. Don't give a shit about what he's done.
How many ranked defenses did the Patriots have in that time period?
Let's see.
We're just killing airtime at this point. You talk about a mute point. This shit don't matter.
It really don't, because Tom Brady was winning with those top defenses.
Yeah. There's a big difference. Anything else we want to hit on, man? What else we got? Let's not have a moment of silence here, unless we want to do it for the 49ers fans.
Yeah.
Booker, Mr. Clutch. Can the Chiefs get 3 in a row? Overtime rules. What's next for the Chiefs? We can finish on that. Obviously, we're going to be losing a lot of key components on this team. Donovan Smith will be gone. Kadarius Toney is not a key piece, but he will also be gone. Man, that's unfortunate, man. To be healthy and not even be activated for the Super Bowl, that's got to be a terrible feeling. But he's got a ring. He got 2 of them now. He'll probably sell one in the future.
I think it's well deserved.
Oh, absolutely. Bro, you've been given opportunity after opportunity. If Andy Reid can't figure something out with you, that's a problem. That's a problem. Like, even Justin Ross went through whatever he went through. He's still on the team. He's still on the team. He got in the playoffs, I think. Obviously you've got some contracts coming up with Creed. You've got Nick Bolton will be coming up pretty soon. Well, he's got the first round picks. He got 5-year options, second round pick. You've got Willie Gay. He'll probably be gone. Justin Reed's coming up. I mean, you got a lot of gaps to fill in this Kansas City Chiefs team, but in Veach we trust, as we say. So in Veach we trust.
As long as you keep Chris Jones, you're good.
Yeah, Chris Jones is as good as gone, brother.
Yeah, you got it.
Didn't Veach just come out and say he's going to do whatever it takes to keep him?
But if you didn't do whatever it took to get him before the season started, like at this point, what's it like? If you're
they
didn't.
They kept him.
They basically he basically signed he got his money back that he lost, and then he said at the end of the year he wants to stay. At the press conference with Boomer. That's what everybody's supposed to say, man.
He wasn't even asked. He just said he's like I need to do whatever they need to do to keep me here because I want to go for another one.
Yeah, but Brett Veach ain't gonna pay him. He's not.
Aren't they supposed to be restructuring Patrick Mahomes?
It don't matter. Again? Well, who in the last 5 years outside of Patrick Mahomes, who on this team has gotten paid? Yeah.
I don't know.
You're fucking right. You're fucking right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Literally nobody.
I don't know.
Nobody's got paid. Tyreek wanted to get paid. He probably would have gotten paid had he had that mishap a few years ago. Tyreek didn't get paid. Chris Jones sat out to get paid. He did not get paid. Like nobody on this team is getting paid. Brett Veach he's gonna keep drafting and he's gonna fill spots, and that's what they're gonna do. Like that's the Brett Veach and Andy Reid. I don't see them unless Chris Jones is willing to take a pay cut, which he shouldn't.
I'm willing to bet right now.
He's got 3 rings. He should not have to take a pay cut at this point. Like,
let's bet a bottle on it.
No, because you don't pay your bets. You still haven't brought the other bottle. Like
Let's buy a bottle on it. Double or nothing bottle.
No, I'm not doubling nothing. Give me what you owe me, then we can have the conversation.
Chris Jones will be on the team start 2024 season.
I don't think so. I think if you're his agent, you basically embarrass your client by doing this whole, this song and dance the entire offseasons to not get him what he needed. Like you're gonna ensure that he gets no. Yeah,
Chris Jones wants to stay.
Yes, that every player wants to stay, but they also want to get paid. They also want to get paid.
Make a deal happen.
Tyreek could have stayed for 5 less a year than he makes now. He chose not to. He chose to get paid.
He's an aging defensive tackle.
But I hate the term aging because, bro, we're in such a different league now. Guys are playing well into their 30s and still playing elite. Aaron Donald, what, 35, 36? Like, bro, he was in St. Louis, like before the Rams even went to L.A. Like he's like this whole aging thing, it doesn't exist, bro.
Is Aaron Donald the same Aaron Donald he was 4 years ago?
I
mean, think so?
2 years ago he was.
He's still getting triple teamed.
Like they're still showing him a lot of respect.
Still that dude that's this season.
Yes.
Absolutely. I didn't see any wear and tear on that man at all. I didn't watch a lot of LA games, but I didn't see any wear and tear on him. Like, I mean,
the numbers say otherwise.
Chris Jones still has
numbers, Brandon. You can't, when it comes to those type of plays or those type of players, you can't just, especially on the defensive side of the ball, you can't just say, okay, is Sauce Gardner as good as he was last year because he didn't have the interceptions? No,
you don't go based off interceptions.
Well, okay, so what numbers?
They have a whole metric. They got targets in your area. They got a whole stat for that now.
So when it comes to Aaron Donald, what are you doing? What you said based off the numbers is not.
Well, he has less sacks than he had the last 2 seasons.
Sacks, Brandon.
I understand. No, Gary, we've had this whole conversation. I get that.
Right. So you can't say that he's not the same player because he don't have as many sacks.
Yes, you can.
Even though he's getting doubled and triple teamed more than he was 4 years ago or whatever.
No, he's not though. He's not. There's a metric for that. Look it up. They just posted all this stuff. They literally ESPN just posted all this stuff. He is not seeing the same amount of double and triple teams as he was years prior. They literally just posted that.
I mean,
like, come on.
For a guy who is 32 years old, he finished the season with 8 sacks. I mean, I don't know what else you can expect out of interior lineman. He had a 20 sack season, which was historical, but other than that, 12, 13, 12, 5, and 8. Like, I mean, if anything, he's having, and he only played 11 games last season, but he's having a good season for a guy who's 32. Giving you 8 sacks for a guy who's 32.
8 sacks in 11 games at the defensive tackle.
No, that was the last year. This year he played 16 games.
Oh, okay.
I don't see see them paying him. I don't think that Chris Jones is an aging guy. I just don't see it. Here, Aaron Donald double team percentage right here in 2023. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see here. Mike, you fucking talking, man. You act like you ain't never been on a podcast before. Good Lord.
It says 63%.
Yeah, he literally was. Yeah. This year he was double teamed 63%. The only other 2 guys above him were Chris Jones and Dexter Lawrence. So I mean, I'd have to see what the previous year looked like, but let's see here. Is there a way I can look into 2020, 2022? I don't know. I'm going to have to disagree with you, Brandon. He's 32. Chris Jones is 20.
I disagree with me. Disagreeing with ESPN stats. They posted.
We just looked at the stats.
2 weeks ago.
He was double teamed this season 63% on plays.
No, they were saying his double and triple teams went down from 2 years prior.
So in 2021 we're talking about.
From the past 2 seasons.
2021 season? Let's see here. 2021 DT double team percentage. I mean, you gotta somehow have this these stats when you're ready. I don't know. We're gonna have to pull this up some other time. I
don't know how to go back.
Yeah, it just shows you. Let's see here. This was. I don't really give a shit. Chris Jones is 29 years old. He is aging, but he's still obviously showing a ton of promise. We saw. I mean, he was the reason why Brock Purdy overthrew that touchdown pass. I mean, otherwise that was a touchdown if Chris Jones doesn't get in on that play. So will he be paid? That is left to be seen. I don't think that he will be on this roster. I hope he is. I'm very hopeful that he is. But that's neither here nor there. So anything else you want to talk about? Both buried in your phone, so I don't think we got anything else we want to dig into right now.
I think we're done.
We've hit on it.
It was a great episode. We established the GOAT. We established the baby GOAT that's well on his way, but still got a long way to go. But somehow he's not chasing the GOAT. He's chasing another baby GOAT.
Never said that he was chasing Jordan.
He's chasing a basketball player.
Jordan-esque stuff.
But even Jordan didn't do this.
Only
this
one
point.
person did this.
Like Jordan,
it ain't Jordan.
Jordan didn't do this.
Why it's such the disrespect.
Jordan's first 6 seasons, he didn't win.
He's gonna keep it.
I don't even know how we compare it to Jordan at this point. He literally didn't win his first 6 seasons. He played good basketball.
Didn't say Jordan did.
Well, you
didn't
said
say Jordan did.
You said Jordan-esque. He's doing something Jordan never
did. He's better than
Jordan.
When you're watching him, this is greatness.
He's better than Jordan.
When you watch Jordan, it was greatness. Period. That's what we're watching greatness.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
That's
Brandon,
what I'm saying.
Honestly, this is disrespectful.
When we watch Tom Brady, we watch greatness. When we watch Peyton Manning, we watch greatness. When we watch Mahomes, we watch greatness in a lot of guys. But
you're watching it right now with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
yes,
we are.
Soak it in.
We most definitely are.
Oh, I'm soaking it in.
Then I don't know what the harm of saying that is, but go ahead.
Brady-esque is more of a compliment.
It's not. That's not a compliment you're gonna hear from me. So there we go. Play the music.
He's a Colts fan. It's okay. He's a Colts fan.
Be a student of the game.
I think Jordan is one of the greatest competitors I've ever watched in my life.
And so is Tom fucking Brady. Are you kidding me?
I'm watching.
Tom Brady is more of a competitor than Jordan ever was.
I'm not saying Tom Brady was not a great competitor. In my opinion, when it comes to competitive, when it comes to that dog mentality, when it comes to wanting to bite your head off, that was Michael Jordan.
Oh my God!
Another person like that.
Tom Brady has surpassed Michael Jordan in everything. The competitiveness, anything.
Honestly, I'm going to finish on this. I'm going to disagree with you, and just based off the things I've seen, based off of his post-career interviews, based off him on the sidelines, based off the things he's done in his career, there is no greater competitor, in my opinion, than Tom Brady. I will always say Tom Brady is the greatest competitor.
It's amazing how he can have his opinion. He literally said, "In my opinion."
Yeah, for sure.
But I have my opinion, and it's like
nothing you
shed on.
Nothing you said earlier.
It just doesn't make any sense. He literally finished that sentence with said, "In my opinion." But I say my opinion doesn't make any damn sense to me.
I started that by
let's
saying
just end the show.
I started that by saying I disagree with you. Did I not?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. That's fine. And that's fine to do.
And then I said in my opinion. So nobody shat on you. Did I shit on you? Do we want to run the tape back?
All right. Well, I would say this. In my opinion, nobody's going to fucking agree with you, bro.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
And he also spent his entire episode talking about how he's the GOAT. There wasn't a fucking opinion base. He was just saying he will be the GOAT. But we're going to roll the tape. We'll find out in 10 seasons if he does it, 12 seasons, 13 seasons, 15 seasons. And as a Chiefs fan, Patrick Mahomes, I hope you do it. I hope you do. No, it might not be. Motherfucker, you've been saying this whole episode, he's the fucking GOAT. He's the GOAT. There ain't no might not be. He's the fucking GOAT. Don't backtrack that shit now. He's the GOAT.
Stand on business.
I'm not backtracking. I'm just saying
he might not be. He's the GOAT. Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. No, he's the GOAT. I'm standing on business. He's the GOAT. Fuck, I ain't walking shit back. I'm standing on business. He's the fucking GOAT.
I think he's gonna be the greatest.
No, fuck that think shit. He's the GOAT.
But
stand on business.
Okay. Now you're all strong about Patrick
I'm trying to help you out.
I'm trying to help you out. Now he's the man.
I'm trying to help you out, man. God,
in my opinion, Tom Brady.
He's talking about Mike. Now he's talking about I might be.
This
might be shit.
Stay strong.
He don't even believe the shit he's talking about.
But in my opinion,
he don't even believe the shit he's talking about. Man, this brother. Hey, man.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.